Guys, it's showtime! Are we ready to go now?
Yeah! Thank you for tuning in today. We're Reviewers in Action. We're here to talk about all the awesome movies that you guys love. So today we're going to be looking at Klowns From OuterSpace. So let's stop clowning around and get right into it.
Klowns From OuterSpace, a cult classic film where a small town gets overrun by murderous aliens.
So what do you guys think about this movie? I honestly thought it was great. I feel every horror fan needs to at least see this once. To me, it's one of the greatest movies ever made.
I disagree. I mean, it's a good film. Don't get me wrong. It has its moments hitting there, but it's a one-and-done production. For cool, classy people, yes, more married to them, but it is just, for an average moviegoer, it's a one-and-done type of film.
See, I can agree with both of you. Their movie is good, but it's also not the best thing out there. You can find movies that do the exact same thing better. It's very cheesy. It's generic.
I wouldn't say it's generic. I feel, after having so many movies come out now, I can see you saying that, but it's, at the time, it doesn't give that feel.
But even being the original, copied so many times, it still affects the original.
It has a set formula that it's just...
Well, that's why I feel that this should definitely be the movie that every horror fan, or even a, comedy fan for that matter, this movie's funny. There's not one part in this that I don't think is hilarious.
It's very slight humor, in my opinion.
Yeah,
it's not
kind of
heavy on it.
I don't know.
It's dark, actually. Dark
but what
humor.
kind of person would you, rate this for? Like, what kind of person is this movie for?
People who enjoy cult classic films, like people that are actually diehard into that kind of subgenre. That's what this movie is meant for, not for an average moviegoer.
I don't know.
I see it as something that you catch on the Sci-Fi Channel halfway through the movie. I guess I'll finish a beer or something to it, but nothing too crazy.
No, I honestly feel like this is the movie to definitely see if you're a fan of 80s horror, if you're a fan of comedy movies, and a little bit of horror. I mean, this movie's not over-the-top scary. Honestly, if you're, afraid of clowns, you're going to be terrified of this movie. But, in all honesty, this movie's great. But what drew you to actually watching this movie?
100% you guys. I don't think I've actually seen this movie before you two mentioned it to me, so...
See, I really enjoyed how cheesy it is, actually. It's so cheesy to the point, like, you can clearly tell it was made to be cheesy.
Well, I mean, two comedians actually wrote the movie, so when you have a movie written by a comedian, it's gonna have its funnier elements than horror. And even though this is a cult classic, it's awesome. What drew me to it, of course, I love 80s horror. One of my favorite types of movies is in that area. Of course, I had to see this movie. Once I saw it, I fell in love with it. That was basically love at first sight.
But see, personally, I don't call it a horror movie. I find it more to be of an actual comedy. Because even though the humor isn't always there, it's a clown movie. There's nothing scary there about it.
Well, that's like saying
it's filled with slapstick. All it is the slapstick humor.
Yeah.
If you take that away from it, it is, okay, a pretty decent thriller at most, not a horror movie.
Yeah.
It's just, it does not need to have that high of a praise that it does. It's just, it's okay as a comedy. It's okay as a horror movie. It's just okay.
But what's your favorite scene in the movie?
I mean, I like the prison scene, like where where the clown is taken to the jail cell. The irony that happens from a prior joke is probably my favorite thing in that film.
Yeah, I don't know. What about you, Brian?
See, that's a tough call. What's your favorite scene?
My favorite scene, I would definitely say any scene with the two brothers in the ice cream truck.
Of course you would.
Every part of that is great. Like at the end of the movie, when they're going ahead and it's yelling at all the clowns to get away from Debbie, Mike, and Dave. When they're yelling at him, I thought that was probably one of the funnier scenes in it. I love that scene. And then, you have the big clown come down and just smash that ice cream truck.
See, that right there in itself is probably my favorite scene. I'm a fan of Godzilla and all that stuff, so just seeing the giant clown there come and just smash up the truck, love it, and just whip it up to the side, amazing.
It just looks like a really bad marionette. It's a really bad puppet.
But it is.
Very limp legs.
But it legitimately is.
But that's what's great about it. So,
I can't.
what would you rate this movie out of cotton candies?
If we're going the cotton candy track, depending on the size of the cotton candy that's in that movie, I'll give it 4 out of 10.
4 out of 10.
4 out of 10. I'd probably go with 8.
Yeah,
It's a great movie,
I'm at 8.
and I wouldn't make everyone watch it, but if you get into it and you think about it, it's okay.
I'm at 8 too. I mean, of course, every movie has its flaws, and as much as I love this movie, it's still an 8 to me. So, 8 cotton candies. I say, definitely watch this movie. It's definitely gonna work out great.
Catch on a Sci-Fi Channel. But tell us your thoughts on the movie in the comment section. Like the video if you like it, and subscribe to us and hit the notification bell so you know when our videos are going to come out.
When are our videos coming out, Brian?
We haven't come up with that yet.